Look, I know I'm probably not going to win a lot of awards here with in terms of popularity. And maybe my opinion is very much a minority one. But I hate the fucking beta alpha. I hate it with all my heart, with all my soul. I despise it. I hate the fact that the story is going to be spoiled before we've even had the opportunity to set foot in the world. And make no mistake, when I say we, I do mean we. I will not have alpha access. And even if I did have alpha access, I would be saying the exact same thing. Before 90% of the player base will have the opportunity to set foot in the Dragon Isles, the story will be spoiled in its entirety. It is already spoiled. The first zone that has only been available for a week in testing, its entire questline is spoiled. You can go on WoW It right now and see the entirety of that storyline. Are you looking forward to dragon riding? No problem. There's like a million videos out there that will show you exactly what dragon riding is. By the end of this PTR cycle, you will know exactly what way to build your dragon, what is the best way to level your dragon, what is the best paths to take to get from point A to point B in the shortest amount of time. You'll know exactly which build is the best build for your class, which build is the best build for your spec. You will know exactly what the different damage numbers for every single build possibly could be. You will know what the best way is to do the professions. You'll know what the best way is to play the game. You'll know what the best way is to actually level to max. What in the fuck is that? How is that fine? Like, how is that how a game is meant to be played? It's not. I'm sorry. It just isn't. Games aren't meant to be played this way. And I know a lot of you are going to say this because you can see a lot of you saying this in chat right now. You're actively avoiding spoilers, and you're sort of being very careful where you go so you don't see any spoilers online. There's a deeper problem, and I don't have any evidence of this, so I might be wrong. You guys will each have your own opinion on this, but I wonder if a lot of the anger and a lot of the vitriol towards World of Warcraft doesn't have to do with this sort of prolonged play sessions. What I mean by that is whenever a new patch launches, right, or an expansion launches, there's like a portion of the community that is experiencing it for the very first time, right? They've never played they've never played the new content. They didn't even know that there was such a thing as a PTR or an alpha. So they get to experience it for the first time. For them, this is all brand new and it's beautiful. And, they're seeing the zones for the first time and they're seeing the story for the first time. And they're getting to experience all of these changes for the first time. And it's new and it's wonderful and it's beautiful. But mixed in between them, in every single dungeon that they are doing, there's maybe one or two people that were on alpha. These people are complaining because there's mistakes that existed since alpha that is still present in the dungeons now. So they're complaining, they're moaning, they're upset about certain things. In many ways, they're bored already because they've already finished the fucking game. They're basically replaying the game that they've already fixed or that they've already played. So the group that is constantly PTR testing, and I'll tell you this, if you don't believe me, go on Twitter, follow your favorite content creator, and wait and see what happens the moment the new expansion goes live. Literally within the first week, the tweets start. So Blizzard wins the PTR starting for 10.1. It's like, dude, 10.0 just fucking launched. What do you mean 10.1? Like, it just launched. And we're already looking forward to 10.1. While 70% of the WoW player base is now for the first time enjoying 10.0. 30% of the player base is already looking forward to 10.1 because they have seen 10.0 already. They have played 10.0 already. It makes me sick. And the sad part is I have to cover it. You could say, yeah, but Accolonn, then don't cover it. I can't not cover it. if I don't cover it, it's out there anyways, right? Every single content creator is covering it. Wowhead is covering it. It's spoiling it for everyone. So if I only start covering it when it goes live, no one's gonna fucking watch any videos because they've already fucking seen it. They already know what's going on. So why would they watch my videos now? So I'm forced to cover it, and don't feel bad for me. I'm part of the problem here. I don't want your sympathy, right? But just to make sure that you understand, yes, I'm rationalizing. I'm covering it because I don't want to fucking lose the money. It's as simple as that. I'm not a billionaire. If I was, then maybe I wouldn't give a fuck. But, you know, I kind of have to make videos, and I have to make money off of those videos. Otherwise, I don't fucking live. But anyways, I don't want to cover it. It's as simple as that. What's the solution? The solution is simple. Don't have an alpha. Every other MMO does that. ESO doesn't have an alpha or a beta. At least not public. The game doesn't get spoiled until the game goes live. Guild Wars 2 doesn't have one. Final Fantasy doesn't have one. In fact, in Final Fantasy, if you data mine, they'll sue you. I kid you not. They will take you to court if you data mine a single fucking thing in Final Fantasy 14. Literally, World of Warcraft is the only MMO on the market that spoils the entirety of their expansions before it even fucking goes live. So, no, that's not why ESO... That's not why ESO is getting mixed reviews lately. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. It's because the developers of ESO is causing shit. Final Fantasy is getting raving fucking reviews and they've never had a single beta test in their lives. That's bullshit. It's bullshit that you need an alpha and a beta in order to make a good game. The last time Blizzard have had a single good expansion was 6 years ago. And they've had alpha and betas for every single patch and every single expansion since. So, no. Alphas and betas do not make good games. Good developers make good games. And alpha and beta, if used correctly... Like, look, I don't have a problem if Blizzard wanted to use it as a pure testing ground. If Blizzard wanted to use it as tests... So, in other words, you log in, and here is a bunch of dummies, and maybe one dungeon. Because you want to test stuff, right? So you want to test whether the classes are working the way that they're supposed to be working. Here's some dummies. Here's a dungeon that people can run just to kind of see, you know, what the game is all about. And that's it. I don't want story. Why is the full quest campaign available in the game for tasting? Okay, fuck it. You know what? Let's say I give you everything. Why in the fuck is the entire storyline, including cinematics, available on the alpha, on the beta? By the end of beta, the cinematics would have been data mined as well. Should those be tested too? What's the fucking point of that? Like, seriously, anyone in chat, everyone that's defending the alpha right now, please give me a defense of that. Why? What are they playtesting the story to see if it fucking works? Are we part of the writing team? Like, what's the purpose of the story being spoiled on the fucking game, on the beta and the alpha? No, bullshit. You want to know what alpha and beta is for World of Warcraft? It's free advertisements. That's it. It's not being used to make the game better. It's not being used to fucking change or fix bugs. The game has been a buggy mess every single year that it's launched ever, no matter how many alphas and betas we've had. Bullshit. It's marketing. It's free. Why? Because Blizzard knows they're going to put it out there. They know that every single fucking content creator is going to chomp at the bit to put out free content as much as they can. Wowhead, an MMO champion, is going to run as many fucking articles as they can. And every player from year to Timbuk 2 is going to swipe their credit card as hard as they fucking can, just not to miss out. And I don't have a problem with hype. You should create hype. You should advertise your game, but you shouldn't spoil your game in the process. It just... It's fine. I realize there's people that like this. I realize there's people that don't mind this. I just don't think that you read the last page of a book before you've actually fucking started reading the first chapter. I don't think you watch the last 10 minutes of a movie before you've even started watching the movie. I think you watch things the way that it's supposed to be watched. You read things the way that it's supposed to be from the first page. This alpha is actually worse than from the first page, because the alpha story, literally the spoilers of the story, starts in the third zone, not the first zone. So we're starting towards the end of the book. Not even on the final page. We're starting towards the end of the fucking book. What the fuck, right? So far, nothing's come out of Blizzard. Has not convinced me. Lily, your message got retracted there, so I'm not sure what happened. Let me just see. Nothing's come out of Blizzard has convinced me they've changed their design philosophy. There is definitely some kind of shift in direction, but I'm not sure it's the right direction. No, there's been a lot that came out of this that I'm really looking forward to. I don't believe that the hype around Dragonflight is pure copium. I think there's a lot of good things. So I've seen a lot of comments on my videos, and in my Discord, people are very divided on this launch. This is perhaps the first time ever that, Blizzard have announced a new expansion, and there's about equal amounts angry people to excited people. Previously, it's all excited people. Now it's mostly people waiting, and that's fine. I don't want everyone to be hyped, but I do think there's reasons to be hyped for Dragonflight. I think that so far, dragon riding looks really solid, considering that it is one of the major features of the expansion. That's a good thing. The world looks beautiful. There seems to be a lot of promise with the classes, a lot of promise with the professions. We'll see, as time goes on, how this adapts and how this changes. I am looking forward to it. Right now, I would say I am very, very optimistic. I'm still watching keenly. I still haven't pre-ordered. But I'm keeping an eye on it, because I really do. I do think that this is, if ever there's been an expansion that Blizzard can make their comeback, this is it. And actually, we were speaking, myself and Rurikon, earlier today on this Frozen Sodium Throne, the podcast that I do with Rurikon. We were talking about this. This might actually be a blessing in disguise for Blizzard. The fact that there is almost no hype surrounding Dragonflight is good. Because what would you rather be as a game? Would you rather have all the hype in the world and then release as a good game? Or no hype and release as a good game? What would you prefer? Because I'll tell you now, there is one of those that's horrible. If you release with all the hype in the world and you just release as a good game, you're done. Your game fails. Right there. If the hype is so high that no fucking game can ever live up to it, it doesn't matter how good your game is. It can't be as good as the hype. And that's sadly been true for a lot of the expansions in the last few years, where people get super fucking hyped for the new expansion. New expansion launches, it's not good, that hurts even more, right? This time around, there's almost no hype. There's no hype. I can tell you now, do yourself a favor, go look at Ballila's channel. Don't look at my channel. Look at Ballila's channel, look at Taliesin and Evital's channel. The videos for Dragonflight, it's getting no views. It's there's barely any views on the videos for Dragonflight. People aren't watching. That means there's no hype. But that's good. Because it means if Dragonflight launches in a good spot, it's good, it's solid, it's a great expansion, it will build slowly. Slowly, people will start coming back in and they'll be like, oh, wow, okay, this seems good. Let's fucking see how, let's get back into this. Let's try this out. And it can end on a high note. It can end where it's supposed to end. A good, solid fucking expansion. So I'm not worried at all about the lack of hype. I think all in all, it's decent. Warhammer comes in and saves the day. Yeah, I'm sure it will. Although I must say, I have been addicted to Warhammer lore. I have been addicted to Warhammer lore. If you guys haven't seen us reacting to Warhammer, you haven't been on Twitch. That universe is disgusting as fuck, dude. It is the most disgusting universe I've ever seen in my life, and I can't stop watching. Doesn't understand dragonflying, whoop whoop. But are there PvE raids and PvP reasons for having it in the game? Elaine, no. And that's what's so good about it. That's what makes it brilliant. I'm going to be honest with you, Elaine. I couldn't give two fucks about raiding, and I couldn't give two fucks about PvP. If Blizzard announced tomorrow that they're removing PvP and dungeons and raids from the game, I'd be like, cool. Nice. Finally. Fuck. I hate both those things, so why the fuck would I care? I don't give a shit. So I'm glad that finally Blizzard is learning their lesson. How about we create casual content for casual players? Let the raiders have their raids, and let the dungeoneers have their dungeons, and let the PvPers have their PvP. Not all content needs to be for like 5% of the player base, because it truly is 5% of the player base that actually raids and actually PvPs. It's not the majority. If you don't believe me, go look at the logs. Go look at Warcraft logs. It's a very small minority of players that actually raid and do dungeons and PvP. Majority of players just play the game. They collect stuff. They're doing casual content. In most other MMOs, they're building homes. They're doing shit like that. Oh, what do? I check out the story. Once I'm done with the story, I leave. Why? Because WoW has no casual content. Once I'm done with WoW's story, I go play Final Fantasy, because there's a fuck ton of casual content for me to do. And I even raid in Final Fantasy. I don't care for WoW's raiding. I don't have time for it. Maybe this time I will, because I used to be hardcore raider. I don't raid in WoW anymore because I don't have the fucking time. I'm not interested in having games be a second job. When I play games, I just want to play games. And they should be fun. So maybe in Dragonflight I will go back to raiding, because this time I can log in and I can just raid, which I do love. I think WoW raiding is absolutely incredible when you can just log in and raid. But no, I don't want to. There's literally no hate towards the PvEers and the PvPers in World of Warcraft, but I do not want to hear any of you fucking make a peep about dragon riding and how, what about us? You've had your time for the last 15, 16 years. World of Warcraft have been designed purely around you. And it's not working. The casual games are kicking World of Warcraft's ass. Why? Because all of the other games have content for the majority of players that don't give a fuck about dungeons and raids. I want you to have your dungeons, and I want you to have your raids, but I want the rest of us to have content too. And that's where dragon riding comes in. That's for us. You guys can go to your fucking dungeons. We'll be racing out into the Azure span, right? We'll be racing, we'll be having a good fucking time, doing our barrel rolls, getting up to max speed, and you can kill the same fucking boss 500 times in a row, waiting for that 1% upgrade of yours so that you can big dick it over on the logs, right? I'm not going to judge you for how you want to fucking play your game. Don't judge me for how I want to play mine. It's as easy as that. No hate, but your outlook sounds a little insane to me. Without PvE, PvP, the game would be dead. Isn't WoW all about endgame? So WoW is not that type of game. It's a good thing. There are things like Steam, things like Epic Games, things like other games in the world. So whenever I've done the story of World of Warcraft and I've seen what I want to see, I just go play another fucking game. Until World of Warcraft wakes up and actually designs content that isn't just endgame, I can just play other games, right? I don't have to be addicted to one game. There are plenty of games out there. But your outlook is the one that I don't understand. World of Warcraft shouldn't be a game with just in-game content.